evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is it, the Season 8 finale of Wheel-to-Wheel Racing. Speaking to you right now, this is Fixer Chris. I am joined with CD.
G'day guys, how is everyone feeling today? We are at final season of Season 8 at the lovely Circuit de Spa in Belgium.
And handling visuals tonight is Hammy.
Hey, you going, guys? Good.
Yeah, well, really excited tonight. Unfortunately, we're having GT problems at the moment where, you know, everyone's having pit glitches and the typical jargon that happens with GT Sport.
And added to the fun factor that us, the commentators, are joining in this test session.
Yeah, I've got to admit, something different. We should jump on to Chris after he pits, and you can take us on for one flying lap of Circuit de Spa, noting that you were the fastest qualifier in the league in that stupidly quick Lambo, and now you're stuck in the Jag.
I'm just driving the Jag out of curiosity, because a lot of people in this league are using the Jag, so I gotta get my hands on it and see what's the hype.
It's all about that power. Enjoy the power and the understeer of what is the Jag.
The Jag. Alright, we should be finishing this one lapper soon enough.
Well, take us through a lap day, Fixie Chris.
Alright.
Jump on board with Fixie Chris and take us on for a quick lap.
Alright, I'm currently at the Camel Straight. 6 gear, 257, this is race stream, keep it in mind. Brake at the 100 meter board. 3rd gear, try to hit the apex. Keep the car to the left to open up for the right hander. As I see a Supra going slow. Thank you, mate. At the start of the curb, you want to brake. Drop down to 2nd gear, keep it tight as well. You want to open it up for a no name as well. And now coming up towards Puhon, you really want to commit. You really want to fully commit. If you see, there you go. Yeah, that's a little bit wider than to my liking. Nothing I can do because this is a Jag. 50 meter board brake. Again, wider than I would like. Keep it tight. Now getting a crucial exit here because it's really flat out all the way to the bus stop chicane. As I have to live understeer world here.
Seems like you're enjoying the Jag as much as all your other Jag drivers in the league.
I'm gonna try to keep it flat through Blanchimont. Mission success. Brake at the 150 meter board. Watch the tail, you don't want to lose it. And excluding La Source, Rouge and Radion, that's a lap around Circuit de Spa from the shop.
How did you like the Jag? The pick of the cars that the league has selected for this season anyway.
All I have to say is, not my choice.
Yeah, it's a bit of a handful for some. It's it's not the greatest car, but it's very fast. I've driven it before in season 6, and again I've jumped it back into the Jag in season 8 for a bit of fun and a bit of nostalgia. So with E-League, guys, if you don't know much about Wheel-to-Wheel, there's multiple splits in Wheel-to-Wheel. E-League is the people that can't do more than 8 races in a season. We have 12 races in seasons, and 8's enough to get yourself, decent points and see you score well in the leaderboard. And E-League is that place where people can prove themselves for teenagers, especially for season 6 coming up. As you probably don't know if you're not a regular, Fixer Chris is actually currently in E-League, even though he shows some serious talent. And that's what's coming through at the moment, where we have these unknowns where we open up Wheel-to-Wheel to the community, and we have these extremely fast guys coming through.
Yeah, also lovely to see the amount of talent coming to this league. And recently with the addition of Ace Rio, that's my top entry as well.
Yeah, race 3, another fast guy. Getting a lot more of us Asians in there, which is good to hear, good to see.
International takeover wheel to wheel. Well, unfortunately for people who are having issues, we can't really do much because we really have to get this started. So, do we have everyone here?
Yeah,
Is
we're
the grid
already
set?
10 minutes out here.
Well, I don't think we have time to wait for
Shandog.
Yeah,
He's
Shandog.
missing. So, unfortunately for Shandog, he's gonna miss out.
So at the moment, knowing that I am the lovely host, I have to
Yeah, you have to set the grid.
yeah, I'm just quickly trying to smash that out right now while we talk. Though all the fun and excitement of trying to set this.
So while we're waiting for CD to set the grid, Hammy, what's your highlight of the season?
Learning these visuals. It's good. It's been good.
Yeah, you made your visuals debut in the St. Croix Enduro, isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
How's it going so far for you?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah. Getting used to it.
Let's give the guys a 1 minute warning.
And how about you, CD? What's your highlight?
I gotta admit, getting my very first overall race win in the wet at Red Bull. I was actually quite surprised that, especially being a split 2 driver, that I could beat some of the split 1 guys in that race. So I was actually, and hold off Tate as well, Tate 2J. So that was probably my biggest highlight.
Oh, top job.
So yeah, so I've never done it before. Been in wheel to wheel for now 3 seasons. I know I'm not the fastest out there, but to get that, I'll definitely remember that one for a while from now.
Just correcting someone in the chat, because for this race, mediums are required. So you have to use both softs and mediums. So what kind of strategies are we going to see in this lobby?
I honestly don't know. It's too early to chat. I can guarantee you, a lot of the guys who are racing, so split 1, 2, and 3, who are racing next week for our final round, are definitely going to be looking at these guys for some inspiration to see what will happen. I know that there's people floating around with a couple of 10s and a 9. Some people are floating around with a couple of 8s and a 7, and some people are doing absolutely crazy and doing 13s. So it's hard to say.
Yeah, and so are we good to go? Because we are really behind right now.
Yep, let's do it. Let's do this. Start race.
Alright, start the race. I wish everyone on the grid the best of luck.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've already had one guy, Shandog, gonna wait for you. Unfortunately, that's a bit disappointing. And hopefully, we get a clean start. I know that Jinx Links NZ's been having a couple of issues with us, so we'll see how we go. Hopefully, everyone gets off the start nice and early.
I'm on board with Heartstopper right now.
I think that's a perfect one to start off right at the start. Do we have lights?
Do we have lights?
I don't know. Yep, lights.
Yep, lights out. And I don't know if we have one person stuck. Benjo is still stuck. Oh no.
One quick reef.
Alright. We'll do a red flag. Yeah. That gives us one more chance to get everything sorted. And if there's still issues, and so unfortunately for those who were having the issues, that's race over. Well, it is what it is with the world of GT Sport. Nothing much we can do. How many times have we been testing, Hammy? Have you been counting?
Yeah, about 5 or 6.
Exactly.
These guys do not want to stop the race. Does anyone have a look at
Please!
these?
Please!
Stop! Please stop! What are you doing?
Please!
Where is the humanity? What is going on?
We are so behind schedule right now. And I
go down. Yeah, everyone.
And I don't mean to bring up my personal issues, but my split is coming up at 7:30.
I know. We'll.
Ah, jolly good stuff. Jolly good stuff.
Let's see.
CD, Benjo's telling yourself to just go on without him.
Yeah, I've got that. Rog. Someone else blue screened. Hard stuff is blue screened.
Ah, for keep's sake.
This is so much.
Alright. Well, we do have one restart left. Whatever happens, that's the race.
That's it.
The Trizzle Dam had a good start too. Unfortunate, mate. It is what it is.
Oh my god, I just hit blue screen.
You have to be kidding me.
Oh, that's the room.
I am not kidding you.
The blue screen of death.
What the hell?
What is happening?
This is beyond a joke. I've never blue screen while I was hosting.
And I'll be honest, I've never had this much issue with wheel to wheel. In previous lobbies at least, I've never had issues like this.
No, not this
This is a wheel to wheel first for me. PlayStation has crashed. I think links conflicts. Yeah.
This room will crash if Zeddy leaves. Is that right?
Jump back in.
Has it already crashed?
No, it's still going.
No, it's still up.
Oh, it's gone.
It's gone now.
I was like, my game's about to restart. Literally. Let's see. Go up, smash it up, open, done. Is everything ready? Let's do it.
Alright, is it back up?
Not now, thanks. Have a good race. Alright, cool. Alright, Haarstopper's out as well. Jeez.
Jeez. These
We lost the pole position.
These issues are frustrating the racers.
Wow, this is one to remember.
Yeah. Probably for the wrong reasons as well. New room, CD?
Yep, new room's up.
Okay, thank you. I'll just alert everyone. Alright, thanks, CD.
Just do that massive.
And whatever happens, happens. That will be the race.
Alright, I'm in.
Sorry for all that. GT's doing GT things at the moment.
Yep. That's the, that's just what it is in online racing.
Okay, let's do this.
Alright, let's do this. Let's try to bring everyone in, but yeah, this will be the race. jolly good stuff. Okay, Cyclone Dan is in.
Come on, Tucker, then you need to get in. This is going to be interesting lobby. Interesting.
This is just no restarts.
Alright, let's do this. You gotta tell Cyclone tick in. You got that, Chris?
Yep.
Sweet. Alright, let's have a look at this lobby again. So who do we have? So unfortunately we've lost the
pole sitter.
Restart.
Oh, hang on. Heartstopper's trying again, restarting, and we'll try. So we might still have our pole sitter.
Okay, urgent period round. G-Neck can go last.
Alright, Heartstopper is in.
Well, I've got the lobby set, so Heartstopper, it'd be easy to chuck Heartstopper right to the top.
Yeah, easy stuff.
Come
I think
on.
mine's my end, had 2 cane crashes and no lights. Not gonna risk it and slow everyone down. So that's Benjo out. That's unfortunate. Alright, just need Heartstopper to tick in.
Tick in, Heartstopper, tick in.
Tick in. Come on, lads, we're really short on time.
Alright,
Is Heartstopper in? Yep, Heartstopper's in.
Wait, race settings, change grid order. Heartstopper all the way to the top, thank you. Done.
And is that it? Done?
That's it.
Alright, let's go. Alright, we apologize, ladies and gentlemen, for the massive delay.
I gotta admit, this is the very first time we've done comms together. This is a bad omen.
This is a bad omen!
Alright, let's see how we go.
Alright, I'm gonna jump back on.
Urgent, I reckon P4.
Okay, I'll jump on with Heartstopper just to make sure everyone gets a lodge.
Yeah.
Do we have lights?
No lights. Oh, green lights.
Green lights, and we have 2 people stuck, but it is what it is.
Who was that? Who was stuck?
Heartstopper and Cyclone. God damn. Posted up. Ah, that's unfortunate, but it is what it is, so we'll continue on with the race. So, who can we see on track right now? We have Heavy Haulers, The Drizzle, Urgent PD, Big Red Ralph, and I think those are the ones running on my screen. ZD, who do you see?
So Heavy Haulers, War, Urgent, and Big Red Ralph. I got all 4.
All 4?
Cyclone Dan is stuck on the pits, unfortunately.
That's unfortunate. Well, it is what it is, so we're gonna be seeing 4 cars doing 39 laps around Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, that's disappointing. But it is what it is. What else can we do?
I do not know. And unfortunately, it had to be said, Big Red Ralph had an unfortunate start, smacking the back of Heartstopper at the beginning, being stuck at the lights. So yeah.
Does he have damage?
He doesn't have any damage anymore, but he's a good.
He is currently 12 seconds down behind Urgent. So he's had his work cut out.
But I've got to admit, I do love that Duff livery. It is awesome. Very nice, and and people's favorite. A lot of the guys love the Yeetle. So it'll be interesting to see if he can make up that time. Yeetle being a bit heavy on fuel, but a great all-round car.
Let's go. So meanwhile, we have Heavy and Trizzle in 1-2 train.
It'll be interesting. This is going to be a good race. Supra v Yeetle.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. We only have Supras and Beetles in this race.
I think, you know, I'm going to blame the constant stopping to a certain Squidly in the leagues that loves the Yeetle and probably wants the Yeetle 1-2 at the moment. But you know, it's a big call for Big Red Ralph to come back right through and take a W or even take second place, especially with that massive handicap at the end. At the beginning, sorry.
Okay, well, this is a bit awkward. Oh, the Trizzle taking a lot of grass through a rouge.
Does he pick up a penalty or does he get away with it? I do not see
I think he's good. I think he's good. He still got 2 wheels on the track, so that's good.
And sticking in that thing and up. Oh yeah, purple second laps. Gonna love that. Absolutely love purple second laps.
Well, I was gonna say this is a bit awkward for cars racing for 39 laps.
Hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
We're here to entertain, right? And we got, you know, as I said, E-League is one of those leagues where it's for the guys to show future team owners what they can do. You know, this is a perfect chance for all of them. How do you say his name?
Nitrizzle? That's just how I say it. That's just how I say it.
All Nitrizzle giving big flashes at Heavy Haulers, saying, I don't think he likes being stuck underneath that Supra. But it's going very defensive and actually holding the perfect line. So I don't think anything's wrong. It's just that Nitrizzle needs to find a way around Heavy Hauler in that very fast Supra.
And just looking at the telemetry, Heavy Haulers have slightly worse rear tires than the Trizzle. But it is vice versa in terms of the front tires.
I'm curious, how is... And fuel, it seems like no one's
short shifting from the looks of it.
No one cares about fuel right now. It's all about pedals to the metal and just absolutely burning it for no time. So
yeah, it's going to have to be a fourth stopper. Yeah,
I think it will be. Meanwhile, Big Red Ralph is still around 12 and a half seconds behind Urgent PD. Still has a lot of work to do. As we have the fastest laps coming in, the Trizzle with a 2.9. Oh, Urgent 2:19.399.
Yeah. So just breaching the gap, I think, you know, the Trizzle and Heavy Haul is just falling over each other, especially coming through Eau Rouge.
Can they keep it together? Oh, the Trizzle taking a lot of curb at the entry. And now Nitrizzle's gonna have to slip.
I just don't think that with 7th gear as well. I forgot that Yeagle has 7th gear.
Really hard. That's really hard.
Will he pick up a penalty and lose P2 to Urgent? I think he was off the throttle for long enough.
The game says nope. Yep, he's good. Oh. But he has dirty tires. Now PD is going to be all over the Trizzle.
That munching on front tires, I feel so sorry for the Yeetle. That thing is munching through its front tires like it's freaking a fat kid at Macca's.
That is quick. That's really much quicker than I expected.
I expect that from a car that understeers a little bit more, like the Jag, or even the Supra. Not from something like this. I know that with a short wheelbase, it's going to be so much more
agile,
but a lot more heavier on the front tires as well to get that turn in. But like that much tire wear, that is if Trizzle wants to be looking at this later on and picks up a penalty.
I can't remember what that's for. I can't remember where did he cut it though. I can't. Maybe it's at campus. Did he cut it there?
I believe it was at campus.
Alright, so he's gonna burn it coming to the bus stop chicane. That's gonna be more work for the Trizzle.
Looks like Supra 1 and 2. So for a Toyota fan, there you go.
Unfortunately, no one's running the correct livery in terms of Fast and Furious.
We gotta give, I know that Heavy Halls in P1 at the moment is running the Up Garage livery, absolutely beautifully designed by Multinash. He's an absolute livery genius. I believe he also did the liveries for 13R Autosport as well. So, admiring Multinash's beautiful work there. Used to do this as a profession and now just mucks around in GT Sport. Also has Instagram page as well. If you want to follow him on Instagram and see some of the beautiful liveries he's comes up with, a real true genius. It gives people like Hammy, I believe, is another livery god around here.
Yeah,
run
it gives
for
me
its
a
money.
workout.
Well, there you go. Molten Nash, if you suddenly get many likes and followers, you're welcome.
And also, I wonder who prepared Urgent and Wars thing. Very unique thing there. It ain't.
A black and red white AlphaTauri Red Bull S livery. I can't remember. I don't know who prepared it for PD.
And I gotta admit, what analyzes is we should jump on with what analyzes livery. He's promoting such a great thing. Beyond Blue, the hashtag on the back of his car. It ain't weak to speak. Very, very true, especially with that headspace. Everyone's suffering from any mental disability or even feeling a bit depression. Remember, especially in these trying times, come talk to your mates. As it says on the back of his car, it ain't weak to speak. So, good message out there. Absolutely loved it. I only saw it just now.
Yeah, absolutely good messages. Not absolutely good in terms of front tires because it's now at 75% tire life.
I'm wondering if those massive moments are upsetting because he's so heavy on the brakes and also that turn in, just scrubbing a little bit of tire life here and there.
Is it correct to say that the Beetle's front engine in this game?
Yes, because the exhausts are out. The exhausts are at the left-hand side of the car.
Front. Yeah, and at the front, that is some design right there. Really good looking, this car.
I know that there is a person out there who said if you become a millionaire, he will buy this car that I believe a German modifying house is actually making of it. So it'll be interesting, and he absolutely loves the Yeetle. Actually, when he joins the lobby, he loves the Yeetle because yeeting in my Beetle, I think, is his welcoming address to everyone in the lobby.
But yeah, it just shows that GT Sport has a lot of influence to people all over the world. Alright, coming back to the race, the field is spreading out. The heavy haulers currently have a 5-second lead on PD 1966. The Drizzle still recovering from his moments a few laps ago, and Big Red Ralph trying to make some ground up.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to go through the whole field there. Fuel strategy, they're all about the same. They're all about past that, about that 45% fuel remaining at the moment. But like Urgent, I have to say in P2 at the moment has the best tires.
Yeah, he's preserving them better than heavy haulers.
But it has to be admitted, heavy haulers is averaging in the 19s, whilst Urgent's just often up just in the 220s. So it'd be interesting if the long game comes in, and also if that fuel extra tire preservation actually helps him in the long run.
Oh yeah, that will help.
Heavy haulage runs a little bit wide there.
At Blanchimont? Oh,
yes,
that's dangerous.
And with dirty tires, brakes really hard and really makes the correct adjustments to come through the bus shop today nice and cleanly.
Meanwhile, PD just tidy. But it's also good to see no incidents, no big incidents so far. That's good to see.
Other than right at the start, unfortunately, with Big Red Ralph, running all on his lonesome, but also showing that characteristics where that front tires of the E-League just suffering a little bit compared to the Supra.
Yeah, but in terms of comparison between Big Red Ralph and the Drizzle's just using a lot more tires. And he's wide at Radion.
How's their fuel going, guys?
Yeah, the Drizzle's almost at 25% fuel. Red Ralph probably has like 30%. And checking with the Supras, they're almost identical. But not a lot of action in terms of overtaking so far.
Yeah, I think it's the perfect time to mention our sponsors who help us run wheel to wheel. So, of course, we'll start off with Future Clothing and Streetwear down in Melbourne. Thank you so much. Grow designs amazing streetwear. So, if you have a look, please support the companies that support us. So, Future Streetwear. Also, races supporting grassroots racing in Queensland. So, if you ever have them, please chuck them a beer and say g'day from us. Also, Pagan Simulations. People who sell us race rigs and also provides us some of our players with the equipment for us to race in, week out. And Next Level Races, having some of the best racing kits, especially the rigs that I need to buy because my rig flexes way too much at this current time.
Well, that's a sign you gotta hit them up quickly.
Exactly, and also, being Next Level Races, they actually do offer our races a discount. So, if you want to get in the league and have a few races and buy yourself another rig, if your missus lets you, or your husband, or partner, or your dog allows you, please join the league and you can get that lovely discount as well.
Yep, we always welcome new racers with various talents.
With various talents. Yeah, we hate the ones that come in and absolutely blitz us from the get-go. But we won't mention any names or no court martials anyway.
Anyway, going back to the race, Heavy Hauler's currently still comfortable. 4-second lead on PD 1966. I think his tires are really bad. He's gonna start feeling it. And Big Red Ralph still trying to catch up. Now it's 11-second gap. Almost wide through Rouge and Radion. Luckily no track limit penalty.
We actually have to jump on with the Beetle through Rouge and Radion. I believe it's scraping all the way through those things.
The Drizzle's all over the place. And he just copped the 1.5 second penalty. He's all over the place.
That tire in that Yeatle is just... he's screaming for help. Oh, I wonder if you take a bit of a tactical loss and you actually, to save yourself a little bit of lap speed, do you just run mediums? Since we have to run both softs and mediums throughout the race.
Yeah, maybe just run again. He's wide at Puon. Yeah, those front tires are not really working for the Drizzle.
They're screaming for help. I don't think doctors could help these front tires at the moment.
Big Red Ralph also had a little moment through Puon. 2 wheels on the AstroTurf, but nothing major.
No, I have to give it to these Yeatle drivers. They are pushing those cars to the absolute max, but at what detriment to those tires? It is awfully scary to see how much grip they have left on those.
Oh, and I have to report that Heavy Haulers has 10% of fuel, and he is coming to the pits right now. Does Urgent follow through? Nope. Urgent is staying out. Heavy Haulers with 10% of fuel coming to the pits. The Drizzle, yep, sensibly. Oh, hits the pit entry for good measure. 9% fuel. Wow.
Ooh, heavy. Ooh, okay, this is interesting.
Big Red Ralph still going. Ooh.
So are we going to have to see a couple of 8? So,
I'm sorry, CD. I think you just cut out there.
yeah, sorry about that. I was wondering, what strategy are we looking at the moment? Because sevens would bring in like 5 sevens is 35. That means they're going to be doing a 4 lap.
Four stop. Yeah, four stop. I think is the strategy for these people.
Heavy haul is
So
straight onto the mediums. That is interesting. After that pit stop,
those tires can go long, but does he have the fuel to go as long as the tires?
but the thing is, also, it's this one thing as well. Because if these guys, it seems like they're struggling with tire wear. Do you just get your softs in our way and then run mediums just to save your front tires? Yes, you're not. Yes, Spa is a heavy accelerating circuit with Sector 2 being very technical, but if you can still do a very good and consistent time in Sector 2 on mediums, is it just better to get your stint off softs and then hope for the best on the mediums for the rest of the race?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, whichever works best for these drivers, that's what they're going to do. So I think Urgent PD is going to come in because his fuel's blinking, so that says 10%. And Big Red Ralph, I'm sure he's going to follow Urgent to the pits.
Because both Heavy Haulers and Drizzle have filled up for another 7 to 8 laps, depending on how they fuel save. Jeez, and also jumping on with Big Red Ralph, he is running that thing on an oily rag right now.
Look at those front tires.
I wonder if he's going to make it.
So PD comes in with 6% of fuel. Oh! Big Red Ralph almost lost it at the exit of Blanchimont. And yes, he's coming to the pits. Don't hit the walls. 2%! So just making it. So I think Heavy Haulers is gonna have them. So I think he's net leader right now. Well, I wonder where Nitrus gonna be after Urgent and Big Red are done with their pit stops.
Well, I think that both of them are going to just pop behind Heavy Haulers because Heavy Haulers have just come through and they're just getting service now. So, be interesting to see how much time Big Red Ralph made up, especially after the unfortunate start at the beginning of the race.
He's topping up with fuel right now. Nitrizzle's still in front of Big Red Ralph. So let's see. Oh, I think he's made up some time. 7 seconds.
Yes, he did. He's made up 3 seconds in that, going with the overcut. So,
but that's also because Nitrizzle had some penalties as well.
Yeah, I will take it.
So the running order is still pretty much similar. Heavy Hauler still in the lead, Urgent PD running in second place, Nitrizzle in third, and Big Red Ralph rounding up the field. And I think Big Red Ralph is... Oh, he's on softs. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so Big Red Ralph is there. He's going for, I think, another 8 lap stint on softs. I think he believes that he's just slightly quicker on softs compared to the medium running. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
And he's shifting halfway through the ref counter, so I think he's doing a bit of fuel saving. Then again, I don't know how the shifting works on the Beetle. I think it's a bit different.
Ooh, as he gets a little bit of airborne as well. No, it's like the same. It's like everything. The Beetle, that's how you save fuel, and also it's got the 7th gear as well. So, I think one of 2 GR3 cars that actually has a 7th gear.
The only cars that I can think of, the Citroen, I think that also has 7 gears.
Yeah. And the Untitled E-League.
But then there's also the white boy Peugeot.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah, there's another Peugeot VGT Group 3. It's a really white boy. I wonder if anyone's gonna run that car next season.
I don't know. Well, it depends. It really depends. It's too early to count, knowing that at the moment, before we start to see, we got the off season first, but it looks like it's going to be super formulas. I don't think we'll have enough. But it's too early to count. We're currently doing voting because wheel to wheel is more of a democratic system where every member gets members who have completed 66% or more gets to select the format for next season. So if you join and you stay in for one season, you actually have a vote in what cars and what formats and what damage and all those things that make online racing fun for the next season.
Yeah, that's good to see. So come on, people, join this league.
Definitely, if you wanna come join us in the league, we're on Twitch and on Facebook at Wheel to Wheel Racing. And also if you're probably tuning in right now, we're also on the lovely YouTube as well. So yeah, thank you for joining us for this lovely last Super Enduro for season 8. Looking at all these newcomers coming through.
Okay, coming back to the race, Big Red Ralph now 2 seconds behind the Trizzle. But again, he's on softs while the Trizzle's on mediums. Checking in with the Supra runners. Heavy haulers. Wow, is he burning through that fuel tank really quickly?
Yeah, he is.
Wow. Because PD easily has like 80% of fuel, I think. And Heavy Haulers is currently at probably 66%. And yeah, he's revving that engine all the way. Interesting. This is interesting. Oh, Big Red Ralph now within a second of Nitrizzle. Will he make a move at La Source or wait till the Camel Straight? Now he's gonna make a move. Nope. But no need to worry. Big Red Ralph's gonna have to slip. I'm currently on board with Big Red Ralph. Let's see how he runs through Erosion Radion. Does he keep it flat? Bit of a lift.
He's
He's got a huge overspeed on the Trizzle.
Also, mediums versus softs as well. As he pulls out to the outside, taking a long way around and using that overspeed to break even that slightly a little bit later as well.
Yeah, nothing much Nitrizzle can do.
Oh, and Nitrizzle just getting awfully sideways.
Oh, sideways, some drifting action. Oh, I don't know what happened.
Just lose it, get dirty tires, and just losing it over. Just, I think, overdriving the car there.
And no damage, fortunately.
And unfortunate for Nitrizzle, just overdriving the car there a little bit, and then yeeting himself into the barrier.
So the next on the list for Big Red Ralph is to catch the Supra runners. So next in line is Urgent PD.
Big ass there.
Yeah, I mean, Big Red Ralph has to make up 9 seconds. And against a Supra, that's no easy task.
Well, I think with him potentially doing one stop less over heavy haulers, it might be on the cards that we can keep this gap. However, on Urgent PD, he has to make it by that time on the track, which he is a little bit. I think the difference between softs and mediums is definitely sticking out now, but it's really going to come down to what happens towards the end of his stint. Because as we saw in the first stint, that Yeetle does not like its front tires.
No, it does not. Let's see what kind of lap Big Red Ralph does. 220.9, but that's because he was overtaking Netruzel. But now he's 8 seconds behind Urgent PD. Meanwhile, Heavy Haulers, yeah, he's burning through his fuel really quick. He's under 50% right now, and it's only lap 12. And
I honestly think Heavy Haulers is doing 7 lap stints. So I think
yeah,
it's going to
7
be
laps.
doing a 5. That would make him a 5 lap because he has to come in.
I think he came in at lap 7. Yeah, he came in 7.
So it'll be 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 39. So yeah.
That's a lot of stops.
That's a 5 lapper.
That's a lot of stops. And the pit stop here is like almost a minute. So I don't know if it's worth it.
Well, he's actually showing really great time and great consistency over Urgent PD. So it is on the cards. It'll be interesting to see what Urgent PD is. Urgent PD getting his medium run stint out of the way now, and then going for hauling ass until the end on softs, or is Urgent PD going to be running on mediums from now on in? It'll be interesting to see because Heavy Haulers is just slowly edging away that lap by lap, averaging it around in that 220s at the moment.
226, 222, and a 221.9. Yeah, compared to Urgent PD, he's doing 222s, 223s. Yeah, Heavy Haulers currently running away right now. The gap between Urgent PD and Big Red Ralph still at about 8 seconds.
And just picks up another penalty as well, so he has to burn it in the bus stop just before the bus stop catch again. That's unfortunate. That's going to hinder his time and actually bring in Big Red Ralph, which is going to absolutely be loving seeing that time drop so significantly, picking up nearly 2 seconds in the bus stop staying because of that penalty itself.
Yeah,
but
already down to 7 seconds.
I wonder how much is that between mediums versus softs as well.
Well, looking at the laps, Big Red Ralph currently did 221, 220.9, 221.8. So, just a tad faster than Urgent PD.
But not as fast as Heavy Haulers though.
Yeah, Heavy Haulers is just hauling.
Look at that consistency, lap 11 and 12,
Wow, 220, 295, 221, 252. Almost identical.
So, he's definitely got this medium running down packed.
Yeah, he's doing really good. And talk about consistency, I can't help remembering the time Flossie and Captain set identical lap times for this round.
Oh yes, that was a sight to see. 2:15, 1:45. That was an absolutely flyer lap. Both of them have been held in slip as well, and I believe they did it on the same lap as well.
Yeah, they did it on the same lap, so that's just amazing. Has that ever happened before?
I have not seen it in wheel to wheel. How about you? You've done a bit more wheel to wheel racing than I have. Have you ever seen it in this league?
Nah, not exactly the same. 1 or 2 off, but not the same.
Yeah, not exactly the same, following one another on the same lap. That was just ridiculous.
That's just...
And also different cars. So you got, Flossie in that Lexus and Captain in the XL. I mean, Hyundai.
Hyundai, yep. Wow, the gap between Heavy Hauler and Urgent PD, almost 20 seconds, 19.1 right now. And Big Red Ralph, I think he just chopped half a second off Urgent PD. The gap is now 6.5 seconds.
Yeah, he did. And also, again, look at that consistency by Heavy Haulers. Staying in that 221.
221s.
He's definitely got the car linked up on the mediums. He's a lot more consistent than he was on the softs.
On the softs, yeah.
It might be a strategy. I honestly believe it might be a strategy. I think
maybe.
stick with the car that you're comfortable with. Get these softs out of the way, because I'm like that. I can't really preserve my softs, but on mediums, for some reason, I can link it up.
Meanwhile, checking in with Nutrizzle, he's falling back right now. Let's see his lap times. Ooh, I'm not liking his consistency. 220, 224, 224, 225, 220, 222.
Breaking a little bit late. Those front tyres are screaming for help at the moment. And I'm also surprised none of the privateers who just recently joined the league didn't pick the McLaren F1 for Spa. That would have been an absolute bullet around here.
Yeah, that's just a missile, especially down the Camel Straight and the final straight through Blanchimont, because that McLaren F1 is just in another world in terms of straight line speed.
Yeah, but again, a person in a certain Lambo is absolutely killing it at the moment.
I can't remember any comments about the Lambo being strong straight line. I don't know where I heard that, but that comment stuck by me, and that's the car I chose when I joined the league.
I think someone named as ZD2, or known as Dale Teeks, I think suggested that to you, and yeah. And now you're absolutely blitzing the field.
Oh, that's enough Lambo talk. Checking back in with the race. The gap between Heavy Haulers and Urgent PD. I don't know what happened. The gap is now 16 seconds.
Yeah, he's just slowly pulling away. Oh, Heavy Haulers did do a little bit of a mistake in the bus stop chicane.
Yeah, 224 in previous lap. And his fuel's already blinking. Fuel meter's blinking. Meanwhile, Urgent PD still taking care of his tires really well and managing his fuels really well too.
Wait a minute, I got that right. So that means Heavy Haulers is going to be doing 8 laps to the end.
I think, yeah, 8 and then 16. I think so.
Yeah, he'll be doing 8 to the end. So he's done 7 to begin with on softs, and now he's just going to do 8 until the end.
Yeah. He has to stop. Yes, yeah, he has to come into the pits this lap.
I think that was a tactic. Get your 7s out of the way, go hard, go early, and then but it's interesting because I thought that strategy would work if you had someone in your slip so you could use one another. What happened in our last Enduro with Adam and Dale Teeks, where they went together, pitted early, and stuck together for the whole race until Adam, who had the faster car, overtook Dale Teeks before the last stint, the last phase of the race. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Heavy Haulers go if he can hold that lead. It seems like he can, especially with his very, very consistent running. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
His fuel meter is almost to the point of empty. Will he make it to the pits?
Is the Supra? Nah, I think it needs to be fine. I think that's not gonna cough over the line anyway. You can't even see more fuel. It comes into the bus stop, say braking for the last lap.
Cuts the pit lane entry.
And gets it in there.
Exactly 0%.
Oh, here we go. He's gonna.
So that makes Urgent PD our current leader for this race. Tires still holding up really well. Slow and steady wins the race, maybe?
Yeah, potentially. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the final stint. Knowing that Urgent PD and Big Red Ralph will be having that 1 lap fresher tires when it's all up for young and old.
And the Drizzle's also coming in.
So it seems like
fuel.
it seems like the strategies are the 7 and 4-8 strategies. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see with some people doing the 7 laps early, with some people doing the 7 laps at the end as well. So, and then actually heavy haulers again coming out after his second pit stop and onto
Mediums
the
again.
mediums as well.
Yeah.
So I think it might be that tactical thing where he just feels comfortable on the mediums and, you know, sacrifice a little bit of grip to
For consistency, yeah. That's a good trade-off. Drizzle coming out with soft tires and a full tank of fuel. But I have to say, a brilliant job by Urgent PD. He's taking care of those tires really well.
What's got me with Urgent PD? The amount of fuel he has left. I believe he can go on for another lap.
He can. He definitely can. Big Red Ralph's fuel meter is already blinking. So he has to come in this lap.
Oh, where does that put him? So he did us 8.
Yeah, so he came in at lap number 8. So he's gonna come in this lap. So 8 and then 16.
He comes in now. No, I'm talking about Urgent.
Urgent. In sense of
If
urgent.
If he's doing another lap.
I think he came in at He came in
as
at
well.
lap 8. It's currently lap 16. He's gonna go for one more. Yep, he's staying out. Big Red Ralph coming into the pits. That's gonna put Heavy Haulers back to second place. But can the Drizzle catch Big Red? Oh, as he takes some bollards, that's not gonna help his case. Take another bollard.
I think he's just too far behind it. He was a considerable. He was already 5 seconds behind Big Red Ralph when he had to pit. So,
and Big Red Ralph just arrived at his box. That took like what, almost 2 years to arrive to the box.
and just not even. He's coming up to the bus stop chicane
Now.
And you know, Big Red Ralph.
Oh.
That is a long wait for fuel.
Oh,
Pops
Red
out.
Ralph coming out. So Big Red Ralph
easily.
still holding on. Easy. The gap between Big Red and the Drizzle, 5.1, 6.5. Almost 10 seconds? Nope. 7.5 seconds. So
Yeah,
Big Red Ralph has made up lots of time after that horrendous start.
No, I think it was the pit in where Big Red Ralph gained that 3 seconds. You know, that just 3 seconds difference coming in just into that in lap. That made him extend his lead over into Drizzle. So yeah, great driving from Big Red Ralph there to hold on to 3rd place.
And as Urgent PD is gonna go to Blanchimont, his fuel's also blinking, so he's gonna come in this lap. So that's 8, and then 9, and then 17.
Oh, is he doing so we've done 8, 9 at 17, 9 again, 26. 9 again, between 35, then there's a 4. Ooh.
Well, that depends on what tires he decides to put on.
Well, he might be doing what Heavy Haulers did and chucking onto mediums.
Probably put some more mediums. Heavy Haulers is gonna retake the lead.
This is going to be shaping up to a very good race.
Yeah, coming towards the end. Are we at the halfway mark? Yes, we are. 18 out of 39. Oh no, we're not.
no,
No, we're not. My maths error had a bit of error there. My bad.
Come on, you're an engineer and you're Asian. Come on, your math should be on point.
Hey, we don't say that here, okay?
From one engineer to another. Come on, man.
Nah, that's probably just a uni stress kicking in.
Tell me about it. As Urgent PD pops out, and
Instead of
Big Red Ralph,
softs.
Big Red Ralph has made a massive time gaining 2 seconds in that stint to come out behind Urgent, 3 seconds behind. So,
Top job.
you know, coming through with the goods.
Yeah, he's now 2 seconds behind Urgent PD. Oh, this is heating up. And he also has that overspeed because Urgent PD just exited the pits.
Was a little bit late there, but pulls it up. That Beetle's great under brakes.
Heavy Hauler still comfortably in the lead, 23 seconds ahead of Urgent PD, in fact.
Yeah, I think, you know, he has to, and running consistency back in
Yeah,
the.
he has to run consistently to make his strategy work. Meanwhile, a battle for second place looks to be on the cards because Big Red Ralph is now 1.2 seconds behind Urgent PD.
And
He can reel
him down.
Oh, that's a good corners from Big Red. Taking a lot of curve for good measure. Ah, but he hits the ball out at campus. That's going to compromise his exit.
Urgent ran a little bit wide as well at campus, so both of them making mistakes. But I think, you know, it serves back onto Big Red Ralph because he has that run. Urgent making a mistake late in campus, so therefore compromising his speed all the way up into bus stop.
Big Red carried more speed through Blanchimont.
Coming in, braking. Oh. Very good exit out by both gentlemen there.
Alright, Big Red is now within a second of Urgent PD. Can Big Red get a good exit for the run down to Arouge? Ah, he's within the split-stream range. The gap is now 4/10 and coming down quickly.
And Big Red Ralph is going to be on fire at the moment. He just set his fastest lap for the race at a 2:20.0, and he pulls out of the slipstream, coming into
maybe a bit early. The slingshot effect's not going to be as strong as he would like, but gets the job done before Lake Com.
I think the last of the late breakers there coming in and gets the move done. He is on fire and moving that Yeetle like it's nothing.
Maybe the German tuners had a touch at Big Red's car. But
Well,
that's some good driving.
Yes, and it actually has to be said, White is coming back as well. Getting used to the Yeetle and coming back and running consistently in the 220s. So, you know, maybe struggling in the first stint, but he's coming back to maybe even challenge these guys who are battling for second.
But looking at Big Red's telemetries, I don't know what's going on with his throttle input. Sometimes it's blipping. Maybe that's how he drives.
Yeah, that could be the way he drives.
Alright, Urgent PD is within split-stream range of Big Red Ralph. Will it be enough to make a move at the bus stop chicane? But Big Red's pulling away. A big lift from Urgent PD through Blanchimont. Keep it nice and tidy at the bus stop chicane. Nice and tidy. Ah, yep. Urgent PD is losing time to Big Red. Meanwhile, Nutrizzle is still all alone in fourth place. And Heavy Haulers still comfortably in the lead. And again, setting consistent times, 2:21.3, and then he gets into 2:20s, 2:20.6, and then 2:20.8. So if he keeps this up, this is working. This is gonna work really good for heavy haulers.
Yeah, it's all about just trying to set fast, consistent lap times. If Big Red Ralph, knowing that he's come back from last year, that massive deficit of 14 seconds before he even reached the first corner, and to be in second place, that is a great drive.
Top job. He's also pulling away. Here's my theory. Urgent PT might be running a leaner fuel mix. Because he's hammering it, but he keeps losing time to Big Red. So he might be running a leaner fuel mix. That's my theory.
It's an interesting theory. But what I don't get, right? Actually, no, I was looking at I was looking at heavy haulers and Big Red Ralph. I didn't realize the massive fuel difference between Urgent PD and Big Red Ralph. Yeah, potentially. Because he's literally got a quarter of a tank more fuel than anyone else right now.
Yeah, and the Supra is also really strong in straight line. So, yeah, he might be running a lean mix.
That's what I think that my theory is on. Is he running a couple of 9s, and then he's going to finish off with a splash and dash right at the end, turn everything up and go for it.
Alright, let's see his lap time, because he's on softs. Yeah, he just had a 2:23.
With mistakes though, because he ran a bit wide at Puon.
But also looking at his previous laps, I don't think he's touched 2:20.
No, he hasn't. He's been
2:21s. Yeah.
These boys throwing. This is why a lot of the guys are going to be looking at these streams and having a look at everyone's strategies, because these guys are coming. Everyone's a little bit different, especially with these privateers. Don't really have to listen to any team orders. Being pioneers in that strategy. It's very interesting because Urgent PD coming down there, using all of Gear 5 and leaving it in Gear 5, not sticking up in Gear 6 down the straight there.
That's interesting. Well, in terms of strategies, what are your teammates talking, CD?
I was going to ask you, you being the privateer, I've got to keep, damn racing team strat to myself at the moment. Because potentially we've got to have some eavesdroppers from different teams, because we're so close in that team championship with Corsa Racing, V-Corsa Racing. I think there's 200 points difference, so we, all of us have to perform well to actually make sure that we secure second place. Because congratulations to Shake and Bake Racing taking over the team championships for season 8. It just shows you it's the only team I believe that actually coached the younger, the more, I would say, less skilled players in how to attack each course, and led by, such a great leadership team with Tombo, CCH, and Ando 787. Hats off for investing that time in the slower drivers, as War Analyzer jumps into the pits on lap 21. So I believe he's on.
So for this case, he's considering tires over fuel, because those front tires are gone.
When did he go into pits? He came into pits on lap 15.
Yeah, he went in at 15.
I'm confused. Well, analyzer, this confused me. I'm just gonna be like, you have confused me, mate.
Yeah, I think you got to do 10 laps to have any chance.
Yeah, I think he's trying to slow him down.
Yeah, I mean, but look at this, like, lap 15, his lap time's 3:17, and then lap 16, that's 2:15. So lap 16, that's an out lap. So yeah, I think he came in at lap 15. Yeah, looking at the time boards for Trizzle, lap 21, that says 3 minutes 10. So the next lap, if it says like 2:15 or 2:16, that's an out lap.
Yeah, so it's an interesting down to 6 lapper there. Yeah, that strategy has definitely.
Or maybe he just ate those front tires faster than to his liking.
True.
Alright, checking back in with Urgent PD. Tires are looking really good. Oh, wide through campus. Checking in with Big Red Ralph. Almost hitting 25% mark in terms of fuel. Tires still relatively healthy. Oh, and Urgent PD with half a second penalty. I think that's because he went wide at campus. Burn it quickly, mate.
There he is, stopping right at the bus stop, at the beginning of the bus stop. That's unfortunate. Losing more time, Big Red Ralph.
Yeah, unfortunately, there are no cars behind him.
Like,
That's fortunate.
Fortunate, because you can burn that penalty anywhere. Look like Heavy Haulers has to come to the pits now. This is definitely his last lap.
Oh, 100%.
Yep, he's definitely on the 8-lap strategy till the end. You know, he'll be coming in again on a lap. Jeez, I can't do maths. No.
Wait, so 8, 16,
31.
and then 24.
Sorry, 31. He'll be coming
33 and 31.
Yeah. To finish off the race, while it looks like Big Red Ralph will be coming in on a lap
Let's see, lap 16.
24.
Maybe he's gonna come in lap 24.
Yeah, 24.
Urgent PD.
I don't know.
I don't know because he still has tons of fuel to burn.
Wait a minute. So when did he come in? He came in on lap 17, and he's
Came
gone
lap
through
17.
half of his fuel now.
Maybe do 10 laps? No.
11 laps? This is something we have to watch. I reckon watch Urgent PD come towards the end of the race, because his strategy is so out there.
I don't know what. It's hard to predict Urgent PD strategy.
Yeah.
And coming back to my theory, he's revving the engine out, but he's saving a lot of fuel.
Yeah, also, it looks like it's not getting. I know that the Supra gets so much, and again, Heavy Haulers coming in on an oily rag there, 0%. But I know that, like, looking at Urgent PD, especially coming up here to the bus stop to Duquesne, he doesn't seem like he has the same push and the same acceleration as Heavy Haulers do. So, yeah, he has to be running on the leaner mix.
Interesting to see how that will pan out at the tail end of the race. As Heavy Haulers just arrived to his box. Let's see what tires he comes out with. Maybe another set of mediums? Big Red Ralph currently in the lead. Do you expect that from the disastrous start? This is some good comeback drive from Big Red Ralph.
Ooh, that's interesting. Heavy Haulers coming back on the mediums.
Again?
Yeah, so he did stop 17, he's done a medium. So soft?
Soft, medium.
Soft. Oh, medium. Was it medium or was it soft before? No, I keep it medium.
He did on mediums. He did on mediums in his last
So
stint.
I think he's on the 8 left. I think he's just comfortable in the mediums.
Yeah, maybe he's gonna run mediums till the end of the race.
I think that's something you'll definitely see.
Yeah, which means if that's the case, then I don't think he's gonna improve on his fastest lap of the race, which is 2:19.2, which is also the fastest lap time for this race overall.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
No, he could pull out something, make those improvements. Doing the same thing over and over again. You are going to find some improvements here and there.
the drizzle messy through like Yeah, so Big Red's gonna come into the pits. He has 10% fuel left. Urgent PD still comfortably like maybe 30%-ish.
Yeah, it's interesting to see what Urgent PD is doing. His tactics has... Yeah.
I mean, looking at his lap times, they're relatively consistent. I mean, 2:22.5 and then 2:23.1, 2:23.0, and then 2:24.5 because he had that penalty, and then a 2:23.9.
Okay, Chris, I reckon talk us through a lap. We jump on Urgent PD. Let's talk us through a lap for Spa and maybe make those little corrections so he can learn from next time.
Okay, let's see. Alright, start finish straight. Coming up towards the 100-meter board, want to brake just there. Keep it tight through La Sauce. Keep those back wheels in check, don't wheel spin.
So
now this sequence is flat. It's looking good so far. This sequence should be flat through Aruj and Radion. He should be flat all the way to Camel Straight. But he lifts maybe to keep the car in check. I don't blame him for that. Now the Camel Straight. Let's see what kind of speed he does before the braking point. 5th gear, 246, brake at 100-meter board to like right-hander, keep it to the left. But he sends it wide. That's going to compromise his entry for the right-hander there. Now coming up, brake just at the start of the curb. Keep a tight line through his right-hander. Put the car immediately to the right for the no-name corner. I heard it's been named, but I still don't know what it is.
Apex jump.
Port is a bit tough. You can either brake at a 50-meter board, but you have to commit. But so far so good. So far so good from Urgent PD. Brake at a 50-meter board for this left-right sequence. I mean right-left. What am I talking about?
It's alright, keep it up.
Alright, critical exit out of campus. Let's see, 2nd gear to help with the rotation. Now this should be flat out all the way to the bus stop, but he lifts again and again. I don't blame him for that. Alright, let's see what kind of speed he does up until the braking point. Flat through Blanchimont. Slight lift. So 242, 243, 150-meter board, bust up the chicane. You gotta brake there. A bit wide at the right-hander. Keep the car in check, and yeah, that's a lap run. Circuit to Spa from Sham. Let's see his lap time, 2:23.8.
So from that, where do you think he makes some improvements? Knowing that he was running in the 21s earlier before.
Well, we also have to take into account that he's also running in leaner mix. I'm 100% sure at this point. So he needs to have more confidence through Aruj and Radion, because that sequence can be done flat out. And then I see some areas of improvement through Blanchimont, Campus, and the Lacombe sequence. But other than that, PD's got this track in check.
Nice. There you go. There you go, PD, from the guy who set the fastest lap. There you go. A little bit of coaching tips to take on next time we go around Spa, if there is going to be a next time. I think we might do it for the next lap around heavy haulers, so you give him a little bit of tips here and there, knowing that he's actually on fresher tyres, and it seems like
he's on fresher tires, and I think he's running power fuel.
Yeah, but we'll wait until he actually crosses the line before we jump on board with that. We got Big Red Ralph. Actually, surprisingly, Waterless actually has kept that gap between him and Big Red Ralph right there in that 6 to 7 mark. So, but I think what's going to hurt him is his strategy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Truzel. Looking at his lines, driving lines. Yeah, they seem to be good.
So being a newcomer to Wheel, what's probably been the most fun you've had there, Chris?
I mean, the first race, straight out of the bat, that battle between Scooter and Flossie. That's one. Yeah, that's one I'll remember. That's I think round 5 Nürburgring with the Toyota 86s.
Oh yeah,
that was really fun. And
yeah,
I came into that round with 0 practice.
Just showing any speed. I think we should jump on the heavy haulers, and Chris, take it once again.
He's gonna start lap.
Take it once again. Help him out.
He's gonna do it flat out. So this will be a bit more accurate guide. 220.87 from the last lap. Again, break at 100 meter board through La Sauce. Don't wheel spin it too much. Yep, that's a good exit. No wheel spin from what I see. Does he keep it flat through Erosion Radion? Keep in mind he's on medium tires. Big lift, I don't blame him for that. He's on mediums. Is that because he's in a powerful fuel mix? Let's see what kind of top speed he does up until the braking point. 150. Almost 260 kilometers per hour. 100 meter board brake. Keep it to the left hand side of the track. Yes, that's what you want to see to open it up for the right hander. You can easily run wide to the exit. Brake at the beginning of the curve for this corner. Keep it tight. That's a good line. Immediately bring the car to the right for no-name corner. Maybe can run more curb at the exit. Buhon. Third gear. Ooh, maybe needs a smoother turn in. But he's catching Urgent PD.
Yeah, definitely. I think that fuel mix.
50 meter board. Keep it to the right. Good stuff. I'm currently liking Heavy's line so far. Campus, can he get a good exit? Maybe late on the throttle. And he doesn't keep it flat. So his run to the bus stop chicane is going to be a bit compromised. Does he keep it flat through Blanchiment though? Let's see. Yep, you want to open it up really wide. Big lift. 150 meter board. Brake there. Ooh, taking a lot of curb. And yeah, in terms of heavy haulers, racing lines, yeah, it's good.
And but also what's very interesting as well, just having another, I'm going to say objective look at it. I wonder if the mediums are really 2.5 seconds difference around Spa. Knowing that, looking at his fastest time and averaging out what he's been doing so far on the mediums.
So he's been doing 2:20.876. Oh, get this! In lap 25 and lap 26, the difference in lap time is 0.001 of a second.
Yeah, it's very consistent.
Very consistent.
And as we come back to racing action, heavy haulers up right there, becoming urgent, hunting him down. It has to be
I
big,
don't think Urgent PD is gonna fight it too much.
and he's in this lap as well.
Oh yeah, he's gotta come in. So I don't think he's gonna fight it that much.
That speed difference, was that 20 kilometers? Yeah, that was 20 kilometers speed difference coming over the front straight there.
Yeah, it's camel straight, you mean? Yeah.
Yes.
So that's a lot of different straight line speed difference.
That means he has to be running like a Fuel Mix 3.
Yeah, Fuel Mix
I don't-
3 or maybe 4 even.
4? Whoa. Geez, really dampening, as a heavy haul is getting really taily. Probably seeing somebody who's going to pass someone and just on the throttle a little bit early there.
Oh, he taps the brake?
He was running wide. It was too deep. Turned in too late. Look at that speed difference.
Look at the speed difference. Oh,
The touch.
received the bump.
Yeah, the touch. Just couldn't get through.
Really frustrating for heavy haulers.
There you
Oh,
go.
try the outside, but yeah, Urgent PD
Just gave him
doesn't
the
fight it that
corner.
much. Yeah,
Yeah,
no point in fighting. Now let's see, 2% fuel. That's a good effort.
Where would that put? That's gonna put
Big
Urgent
Red Ralph
PD behind. No wait, War Analyzer will have to go into the pits now.
Yep. So
he's
Big Red
fighting.
Ralph is inheriting. It's gonna inherit second place. Yep. And Urgent PD still hasn't arrived at his box.
Alright, it's gonna be an urgent
There
way.
you go. Yeah, with this new update, it takes like forever to get to the pit box.
Well, again, that's what's been playing around with people's strategy. We just don't know when, like, how we're going to... This is actually going to be a good indicator to see what is the pit loss as well, because, you know, Heavy Hauler was just in front of Urgent PD as they enter the pits. So it'll be interesting to see what is the time. 44. Jeez.
So what's the time loss? Wow, 45 seconds.
That is huge amounts of loss there.
Yeah, that's changing tires and a full tank of fuel from empty.
No,
Yeah,
I think it has to be a fuel from that 3 because it's struggling to get past. While Heavy Haulers was flying up to 260, this thing's struggling up to get to 250.
Yeah, 242 before the breaking point. Yep, that is confirmed. Urgent PD is running a leaner mix.
Now, it also has to be said, Big Red Ralph is making up time, even though he can't see Heavy Haulers. He is making that time slowly up to Heavy Haulers. So, I wonder if he's left his run a little too late. Oh,
Has Big Red run mediums? Has he done mediums still?
yes, he has.
Sweet. Yeah, the race is very spread out right now. Not a lot happening.
Be interesting with 10 laps to go. It'll be interesting to see what happens next. We all know that everyone has to take one more pit stop.
Yeah, at least one more. Unless PD can make it all the way to the end. The
Well,
way I
let's have a look.
see it, I think the Drizzle
I think,
gonna make one more stop.
honestly, I think I don't want to. I think looking at how much fuel burn he's had in that one lap only, I think he can make it to the end. Braking a little bit late there, coming into the bus stop there, but I honestly think that Urgent PD can run to the end.
I think he can. Meanwhile, at the front, Big Red and Heavy Haulers, yeah, they have to make one more stop. And the Drizzle, maybe he has to make one more, considering how fast he goes through
Yeah.
those front tires.
And also have a look at the fuel difference between the Trizzle and Urgent PD.
Urgent
he
PD, yeah. He
yeah,
has to
he
make one
has-
more stop.
Make more stop.
So maybe right now, Urgent PD is our net leader.
I don't know. Like, I have a look at the gap difference. About 50 seconds.
50
and
seconds.
No, he's not gonna. And also, you have to remember, heavy haulers has to come in. Potentially won't need to fill all the way. So, does he need a 45-second pit stop?
I don't think he does. Maybe he
So I
can
think-
come in at lap 32 or 31 even.
I think heavy hauler will be coming in next lap, so end of lap 31. Big Red Ralph looks like it's going to come in the end of 32. So I think the race is going to be between Big Red Ralph and Urgent PD, because I just don't see how Urgent's going to stop losing so much time to heavy haulers.
Yeah. Maybe the lean mix strategy is not working well for Urgent PD. And speaking of playing with fuel mixes, would you like some recommendations, CD?
Yes, please.
So when I did some practice runs earlier today, and I think you can run fuel mix 2 or 3 at Lake Com, and then at the exit of No Name, quickly change it to fuel map 1, and then change it back to fuel map 2 through Puhon and then the right-left sequence.
Yeah.
And then quickly turn it back to 1 for campus, because that's
Yeah.
flat out all the way to bus stop.
Do that every lap.
Or we can do what I'm thinking about doing, run fuel map 3 all the way the whole race.
And also, if you find yourself in a split stream, you can play with the fuel mapping, because let's say you're in a split stream, you change it to fuel map 3, you're not going to lose a lot of speed because you're in the split stream.
I'm usually in 5. I was like, yeah, straight to 5, because especially being the slippery Jag, once you're in someone's slip stream, you're just like, yeah, back all the way back, and just like let them do all the heavy moving.
But how's the fuel burn in the Jag?
Oh, it drinks like a drunken sailor. It's one of the, I don't know, again, like, I really hats off to like people like Apex Humper, Adam V10. Just don't know how they can do such fast, consistent, like, and Stefco as well.
Stefco with that 2:14.6.
Yeah, like, how can they do such amazing times in the Jag? It just hats off to them, the skill that they have and the dedication that they have towards GT Sport. So, yeah. Only about a little bit of coaching, maybe I could get that up there.
Heavy haul off.
Heavy Haul is coming in for the last time for this race.
Yep, it's gonna take him another 3 years to arrive to his box, so I'm gonna jump on with Big Red.
Yeah, I think you've got it right on there. I think we should jump on with Big Red right now.
So tire-wise, his front tires are 50%. I think Heavy Haulers has arrived at his box. And that's gonna put Urgent PD. Is he gonna have to run on Heavy Haulers? Yeah, I think Big Red's gonna come in at the end of this lap 32. We're coming up towards the tail end of this race.
Yeah, no, we can't. It's been a long, arduous race. Sucks that we had so many dropouts at the start of the race.
Yeah,
Two
that's
people
really
dropped
unfortunate.
out, especially Hardstopper, who was on pole. Would have been a great race to see, but no, GT Sport doing GT Sport things.
That's what we have to deal with. Just unfortunate. Yeah, Urgent PD currently 10 seconds behind Heavy Haulers. Oh, and Heavy Haulers still on the mediums, even though there's not a lot of laps left.
I'm getting awfully taily there.
That's the effects of cold tires, but good save. So, yep, Big Red Ralph's gonna come in at the end of this lap.
See, that again, Urgent PD was not. I don't think running long is the way to go, because look at him. He was behind Heavy Haulers by about 7 seconds when he pitted. So yeah, that long running doesn't look like it's a very good strategy, to be honest.
Yeah.
But interesting strategy to run, depending on lap 28, and to run always. That's 11 painful laps around here.
He's got the tires. He's got the tires to make it to the end, and maybe also have the fuel, but he has to run it on a leaner mix. So that's the most painful bit of this stint.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens between Big Red Ralph and Heavy Haulers. You know, we said that pit loss is about 45 seconds. So it seems like he's going to be 22 seconds behind Heavy Haulers. As Heavy Haulers coming into the
Bus stop chicane, exit. Yep.
And
Easy
Big Red
lead.
Ralph is not even in his pit block at the moment. Still waiting.
Oh, there he is. Maybe he stopped at a servo before entering his pit
go for a Macca's run.
Wow, it just takes ages now to get to the box.
And actually, Urgent PD as well. Looks like he's just going to be in front of Big Red Ralph. Big Red Ralph has been released. Urgent PD is in front of
the Trizzle. The Trizzle?
The Trizzle? No, the Trizzle's about 4 seconds behind. And looks like he will have to pit again.
Yeah, he has to pit again. I'm not sure he has the tires and the fuel to make it to the end.
So Big Red Ralph taking enough for 7 laps to finish off.
Oh, but he's on mediums.
Yeah, so he must have.
Maybe he feels more comfortable in the mediums like Heavy Haulers.
I don't think he did mediums. I think I was wrong before.
Or yeah, that may be the case. This is his medium run. Yeah, but his throttle's blipping.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with his. Is he on controller or a wheel? I'm not sure. Anyway,
that would annoy me. I don't know. It's like it holds full power.
Yeah, but
maybe
it's blipping again.
Maybe that's how he's driving.
Maybe
because why would you back off there?
Yeah.
Who knows? It's.
I have no clue. But speaking of blipping the throttle, that's how Senna drives.
Maybe he's getting some inspiration from the lovely yellow hat himself. Yeah. So I think the race. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Because I watched a video about Ayrton Senna's driving technique. He blips the throttle through the corner, which is interesting.
To keep up the boost. Remember back in the early.
Yeah, true.
Massive
turbos. Yeah, massive turbos.
So, and it's sort of like Alonso with when he was driving the Renault.
Yeah, so that's to keep the keep inside the power band.
Yep, and then Alonso to make sure because that Renault when Alonso won his championship was an understeering beast. So to warm up the tires, if you have a look at Alonso driving technique, he used to yeet the steering wheel twice. So he used to put smash and lock and then smash and lock again to warm up the tires to get the turn in.
That's just aggressive.
Oh. Yeah. Two of our favourite drivers there, I reckon. Alonso is an absolute freak. And Ayrton Senna, everyone's favourite F1 driver for sure. But back to the racing. Heavy haulers, I think, you know, I'll say it. You know, congratulations, great win. You know, I guess it's just your consistent running throughout the tonight. You have run very consistent.
Yeah, very, very consistent.
You know, and I think that is one of the keys in this long distance racing. It's just that you have to run consistent time on a tire that you're comfortable with, and it seems like tonight you were comfortable in those mediums.
Consistency is key. Oh, and get this, Big Red Ralph is now gaining on Urgent PD. And they're both on mediums, so this may go down to the very last lap.
Oh, I don't know. Like he's getting about a second a lap. So yeah, you're actually right. The last lap is going to be on for young and old. But I wonder if Urgent PD is going to turn up the fuel mix though, knowing that he's going to be just like that, or is he going to turn up the fuel mix just to stay in the slip and then back it off again? Little options you can do here and there.
Yeah, it's just struggling to get to 6th gear. It sounds like. Oh, Big Red Ralph keeps it flat through Blanchimont.
In 7th gear. I love the Eagle. Such a great car. But I wouldn't like it for these races because, like Organizer and Big Red Ralph, I would chew my front tires like no tomorrow.
Yeah, Patricio coming to the pits for one last time. So I think that's unfortunate. 4th place locked in for Nitrizzle.
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, it's that tire wear, that front tire wear, has hurt his race tonight. Yeah, I think it's more the geometry of the car and just being. Looks like it was a little bit aggressive on his steering inputs. It just chewed up his front tires.
Yeah, the gap between Urgent PD and Big Red now under 3 seconds. 2.7, 2.6 at the end of the Camel Straight.
It's just that difference. It's that Yeatle is getting up above 250 easily compared to Urgent PDs in the Supra. When, you know, I will put my money. Oh, he runs a bit on the marbles there and gets understeery.
Some sideways action there. Yeah, but he's gaining quite quickly, actually. The gap now 2.4 seconds. Come on, Big Red. You can do this.
It's definitely on. And meanwhile, Heavy Haul is just extending his lead.
He's minding his own business.
Very quiet race, you know.
Very quiet race for Heavy Haulers. And I'll be honest, very quiet race in general.
Well, after the action that we had, especially with the 8.6s, yeah, these is usually our Super Enduro become a very quiet race where each person runs pretty much on their own.
Yeah, everyone's just doing their own thing.
I think that's the thing. It's that concentration, the intensive in that endurance, and the concentration, making sure you hit every brake marker and every acceleration point. One thing I haven't seen much is massive penalties. Like, people have been really good.
Yeah, they've been behaving themselves. But then again, there's not a lot of places where you can get like track limit penalties. The only corner I can think of is Rouge and Radion.
Yeah, but I think they've done the risk versus reward. Take it a little bit slower, make sure you hit it, and just keep it going. But I know in the upper lobbies, that's not going to happen. People are going to go for it because of the overtaking and how close the race is going to be. We're back at Big Red Ralph now, 1.6 seconds behind Urgent PD and closing very fast. Took another second out of that lap.
Yeah, the gap now 1.6. stretching it a bit. Maybe had a poor run through like
Just listen to that tire scream for help. Sends a shiver down your spine sometimes when you're not racing.
fifth gear through Puon. Keep the car in on the black stuff. Good. Lap 36 out of 39. He's got what, 4 laps, 3.5 at the stage to catch Urgent PD. So let's see the speed difference actually between Urgent PD and Big Red. So Urgent PD currently 241, 242. I'm gonna check their speeds at the breaking point. I'm gonna check the speeds at the breaking point. So 247 from Urgent PD, 251 from Big Red Ralph.
And that's coming up to bus stop chicane. How about along the Camel Straight? There must be a massive speed difference because he's gaining so much time down the Camel Straight.
As we enter lap 37. Wow, really deep into La Source.
But gaining time because Urgent PD did make a mistake as well.
Kinda also looked like a slingshot effect. Oh, take a bit of grass through Arush and Radion.
But it holds it very well right through.
Is he gonna slip? Nope.
Not yet, but that speed difference.
257 at the breaking point for Lecom, but really deep. Still keeps it in on the track.
Yeah, so it's 250 versus 257. So again, just making those times here and there. But again, I believe he's overdriving the car now. He's very aggressive in his throttle inputs, and I don't expect him after a long race, seeing someone like that, red mist descends, and you just want to go for it.
Yeah. The gap is slowly going down. Oh, a bit wide through one for Big Red. How's Urgent PD doing, ZD?
He's still doing very well at the moment. Just hitting his braking markers just right. Just running a little bit wide here. Coming through the second part of the chicane. Braking perfectly there at the 50-meter mark. Putting it on the throttle nice and early. It's lifting, and this is where he's going to lose time. Coming up to the bus stop chicane, he should be flat out.
But a bit of a throttle input issue from Big Red.
And he's losing time as well. Big Red is losing a huge amount of time there.
Yeah, that throttle issue, that's got to be annoying him so bad.
As we had Urgent PD braking at the 150 into bus stop chicane, nails the first part, back into gear 1 for the second part of it. No wheel spin whatsoever, and slingshot himself out of the bus stop for 2 more laps to go. I cannot believe the relief these guys will be feeling right now, knowing that there's only 2 more to go.
Oh, just one more lap. Come on, let's end this quick.
But again, it just seems like Big Red Ralph didn't make much time over Urgent PD. I think it's about 0.2.
Yeah, again, he's carrying those throttle blipping issues. I don't know what's going on, but he is having a huge overspeed on Urgent PD.
Yeah, I can see
inside the split stream zone.
I can see this yellow thing coming out from nowhere. Coming in. Doesn't go
ambitious if Big Red makes it.
No, it doesn't. Breaks out, pulls out of it. It is on for Young and over for the last of laps. We called it. I think we both said lap 38 or the final lap is where the action's going to happen. And here we go. Big Red Ralph on a charge to clinch second place from Urgent PD. I think we should watch it from the attacking driver from behind. I think we should jump on Big Red Ralph.
Yeah, I'm also analyzing how Urgent PD's taking the corners.
Big Red Ralph hunting, having a look. Is there braking at the 50 mark?
Okay, good entry for Puhon. He needs to be within slipstream range at the exit of campus.
Oh, that throttle, he's just losing a bit of speed to that throttle. Oh, OGP runs wide, coming on the first part of the shake. And
Oh,
OGP,
Big Red! Big Red also a bit of a sideways action.
It is on, here we go. Picking up the throttle nice and early.
Is he within slipstream range? Yes, he
will
is.
be,
Don't
but-
touch
oh.
the AstroTurf. That's really close.
Will OGP defend? He's taking a defensive line. He's staying on
Are they
the
going to go
inside.
side by side through Blanchimont?
They are.
They
Side by
are.
side. Oh no, he's gone deep. He's gone on the backside. Got the tires.
Yeah, that's what happens when you go side by side through Blanchimont. Nothing much you can do.
Doesn't pick up a penalty. Luckily enough.
The game says nope. So this is it. Big Red has probably like 2 chances left.
Oh, he's
But again,
go for it in turn 1.
make that 3 chances, and does he stick it?
Pulls it up nicely. And
Does
breaks-
Urchin get the
Oh,
cutback?
No, he
Nope.
doesn't.
So
what a
Big
great move by Big
Currently
Red
in
Ralph.
second place. Urchin PD has only 10% of fuel left.
Yeah, I think that's all over for OGP. I don't think he's going to be catching. Is that the difference between look at that, already pulled out a point in 1.7 seconds coming through
Yeah, the camera straight. Yep. So
this has to be fuel fat mine. Look at him, he's
fuel
struggling.
map 5 or maybe even 6.
Yeah, he is struggling.
But will he make it to the finish line though?
I do not know.
I'm
That
not
is the-
confident. I'm not confident with that amount of fuel left.
Where is he? How much fuel does he have left? Alright, so the question is where he's going to run out of fuel.
Yeah, the question right now is, does he have enough fuel to make it to the finish line?
I reckon the meeting
Urchin-
lasts.
Heavy
reckon
haulers is also blinking. He's got his hazards on, so maybe that's celebratory stuff.
Yeah, I think that's so
Heavy
true.
Very wide. Oh, but doesn't touch the AstroTurf. Yeah, let's jump on with heavy haulers because he's about to cross the finish line.
Talk us through it, Chris.
So, final sequences. Oh, so he's lifting. Maybe he's saving fuel through Blanchimont. Half throttling, so he's probably fuel critical. Taking it easy through the bus stop chicane, and a big congratulations to heavy haulers for taking this win. There you have it.
I think we should jump on with Big Red Ralph now.
What a comeback drive from Big Red Ralph.
Starting 14 seconds behind everyone to come in and take second place. That is a great drive by Big Red Ralph. As he crosses the line,
Get in
OGPD
there.
runs out.
OGPD runs out of fuel.
Oh, the bus shop chicane. That is unfortunate there.
But
Crawls across
probably
the line.
lucky because Natrizzle's nowhere near Urgent PD.
Yeah, the Trizzle coming up, just tie where it was his downfall this evening. Just couldn't get a grip on how much front tires that Yeatle uses. So that's unfortunate for Trizzle. Heavy haulers doing the clean sweep, starting on the front row, taking out the race win and the fastest lap game.
There you have it. Let's see Heavy Haulers overall time. 1 hour, 35 minutes, 0.2 seconds.
That is great. So as we jump on with the, as we congratulate the Heavy Haulers for a great win, starting on pole position, starting in on the front row, taking out pretty much the, taking out the clean sweep there. As we have a look, Heavy Haulers first, Big Red Ralph second, Urgent PD third, and we'll analyze the fourth. Chris, final words for this evening.
Well, it's been a really stale race, I'll be honest, but what a season. What a season of wheel to wheel.
I know, tell me about it. And again, big thanks to our sponsors, Paying In Simulations, Racers, Next Level Racing, and Future Streetwear down in Melbourne. Please go to the stores, buy stuff from them, because if you support them, they'll come and support us. So please, I would ask you to go and buy stuff from their product line.
Well,
Anyway,
I have to make a quick exit because my lobby is already up.
No worries. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for everything. Thanks for commentary tonight.
Yeah,
thank
thanks,
you,
guys.
Sadie, and also thank you, Hammy.
Yeah, thanks,
Hammy,
guys.
thank you so much. Thank you for the visuals once again. And everyone who tuned in and stayed in for that massive epic stream, thank you so much. Remember to hit that like button on YouTube. That will help us generate a little bit of revenue so we can continue this lovely community to grow even stronger. I hope to see you guys for the off season, and I hope to see some of you guys in season 9 for Will to Will. Thank you so much, and good night.
Yeah.
Good night.